Hello, welcome to the stream. Markets are open. Let's see what the golden city goose of plenty can lay for us today. Some golden eggs. All right. Interesting push up. You will notice that push up had a bit of strength to it. And the next candle has also got a bit of strength to it in the opposite direction. But too early to tell anything at the minute. And like yesterday, which was day 2 of this FundedSeat challenge, where we take a evaluation to pass, graduate it to a performance account, and then graduate the performance account into a payout. And I think that's the only honest review, because part of my job as Dodo Trades is reviewing prop firm accounts, and one of the poor old trader does get kicked around a bit. There's a lot of misleading statements out there in the trading space, and people who are influencing, like I seem to be doing these days. I think there's a responsibility upon us to give accurate information, and the best way to do that is to go through it with you. So that's another reason why I'm going through and doing these challenges on getting it. It's not just about, hey, look, let's buy an evaluation and get some money out of it, which is, the bottom line is that's what people want to do. But, we've got to give these companies a fair review. And the best way to do that is, why don't we review it together? Okay. I'm buying the account and I'm passing the account and I'm taking it to a payout, and you're watching it on YouTube. And then we'll do on my website, which is dodotradez.com. Pop in and have a look around. There's still more work to be done in there, but it's quite reasonable as it is. We'll put the review on there, and at least you know that this review has been done, because it's been done here live on YouTube and streamed. We've done it together. So let's get the account passed first. Yesterday we did well, but we did a little bit too well. We made too much money. Just a sec, phone ringing. Excuse me, just a phone call coming in. It's live streaming, I suppose. Got a lot to get used to. Turn the phone off and that. But anyway, yeah. Where were we? We're talking about review process, weren't we? Yeah, we're reviewing the thing together, and then I'm not putting a single review on that website of mine until I've actually live streamed the entire experience end to end, and then we can stand on our reviews and say this is an honest review. We did it publicly with our audience. So yeah, that way you can be assured of the veracity of the review, and there is not going to be any prop firm recommended by me until it's been through this entire process. Right now, I am recommending FundedSeat. I've done only some superficial research into them, but the research I've done is pretty good. But the ultimate research is the research we're doing here. So I'm recommending them, but on the basis that they're not fully reviewed yet. By the time we've been through this process, they will be fully reviewed. So yeah, I'm recommending them. So maybe you want to join in with me with a FundedSeat account and try what we're doing here. Okay, so if you do, please be so kind as to use code DODO, and then we'll start running some duck races and giving some accounts away. But it is nice to have you here with me going through this journey of documenting and reviewing some of these prop firms that are offering really good stuff. There's some really good stuff out there. I am liking FundedSeat, same day payouts. I've got the daily account here. Same day payouts and things like this. It's end of day drawdown. Reasonable max caps, payouts. It's pretty good. It's pretty good stuff, considering the way things are going at the minute with, there's lots of changes out there. It used to be that you could get an account and run it up to £1 million. But I think the days of Apex doing that, it's all sort of changed. They're acting a little bit like the Bolt at the minute from Funded Next. So I'm not criticising them at all. I'm just saying how the changes are happening in the industry, and the accounts are becoming disposable. So you get 5 payouts out of them, and then they're binned off. You've got to buy some more ones. But it never used to be like that. You used to be able to keep them and build up. You would build up a buffer, a good buffer, and you keep surviving the account was the thing. You wanted your account to last a long time. But that seems to have gone. It's gone into like disposable razor territory now, I suppose. Which is fair enough, if that's where the industry wants it. And I'm assuming that that's the way the public want it as well. But yeah, that's how things are going. Right, that's enough of the prop politics talk. I think now we need to look at the market. We've got an interesting day today. It's half a day. It's Juneteenth, so we've only got half a day. Market will be closed at 12 o'clock. And let's have a look at the form now. Probably should set a low expectation for, how far price can travel, and might be a bit prone to ranging. I mean, we've had the open, and it's not exactly earth-shattering stuff, as you can see. So, we might not even get a trade today. In terms of, how I normally like to do it. I like to see some liquidity raided, as you know. I like to see the market changing its intention. I want to see it shift its structure, as some people call, but I like to think of it as the market is showing some desire to move in a certain way, to some sort of obvious target or something that you would imagine. Like, you can see this. It would want to reclaim, I would say, the bottom third of this move up, even if it's a long-term intention is to go even higher. And going higher is just amazing. I mean, look at the price of the market these days. 7,500 points. Who would have thought such a thing possible? That's the United States for you. Such a powerful economic force. Ambitious country, capitalist country, a free country, free speech, free markets. It's all there. Everything for everyone. What a great country. I shall have to think about positioning myself there one day and joining in the American pie. So, anyway, yeah, I think, a nice big push-up like this, we're going to want to reclaim some of this stuff. And once again, for those of you who know the phases of price, price is in a new phase now. After a push-up, it's gone into a range. And I don't think the market will want to just simply turn down and change direction, but it will want a pullback before moving up higher. I say it will. It's the typical behaviour. We're at one sort of level of existence. Like take this down here, these levels of price, and then there was a huge obvious push up today. So there's a new phase of price going on, and then after we get this range, it normally likes to take liquidity, raid it, and then carry on in the same direction. What I'm saying is that that's typical behaviour. I'm not saying it does that all the time. I've heard some people saying price can't change direction like that, but it can. It's just more likely that it will dip liquidity and away it goes. So if we do enter a trade here now on this phase of price, we are in fact going against the conventional wisdom that it will go up. But we're prepared to do that, but on the understanding that we know that it's probably just a pullback, not a reversal. But it might be a very deep retracement, that hopefully down to the lower thirds here. When it gets going, if it gets going, which I think it might do pretty shortly, and we'll participate in that. So it'll depend on the next candle or two whether I participate or we participate, however you want to view it. And I think we'll want to take it down to some sort of target down here. About here is as far as I'd want to go, especially today with only half a day running. But I am interested in shorts, suffice to say. Not because I think the market's going to reverse direction. As I say, I think it's going to continue. It will do exactly as it wants, obviously, because nobody actually knows what it's going to do. But we're building, whenever we enter the markets, we're building a story of price, based on its, our knowledge, what we know, and which is why you follow live streams like this, so you can learn properly about things. Not so much strategy, but risk and understanding what phases of price are and how the market behaves. Those sorts of things, just by being around it and getting used to it all. So hopefully I want to see this candle here now. I want to see it sort of lose its mind and go crazy sort of expansion to the low side and give us a market sort of a structural change, a market structure shift, as some people call it. I'm just looking for the market makers to decide they've had enough and they want to take this thing lower. But they might want to go higher before they go lower. Or they might not want to do anything. They might just want to range around. Maybe they like doing this today because it's only a half day. Maybe that's what they're interested in doing. Let's see if we can figure these guys out, because they like the old mind games to the market makers. They enjoy a good game of mind games. So it's going to be playing with us today. And we've got nothing better to do, so we're going to play along with them and see if we can't outsmart them. That's what we're going to do, gents. We're going to outsmart the big boys. Okay. Yes. It's looking a little interesting. It's definitely a range. I mean, if it's a channel, it's like the world's lowest gradient channel you've ever seen. There's not much of a gradient in this. This is, what's it doing? This is Quant Tower, by the way. I like Quant Tower. It's pretty precise. Precision's what you need when you place orders. Using TradingView, which is a fantastic charting tool. There is nothing better out there in my view. but for placing orders and keeping an eye on the actual movement of price, it's got to be Quant Tower. It's got to be Quant Tower. Anyway, I'm still expecting this to drop out of this range. I'm not going to call it a channel. I don't want to call it a channel. It's too much of a range. Let's be sensible. Anyway, she's popping up here. Is she going to do this to continue the range, or is she actually going to go up and bite on some liquidity for us? What's she going to do? We shall know shortly. Should probably get a cup of tea whilst this is ranging around the place. Won't be a moment, gents. Yeah, sorry about that. Just getting a cup of tea on. Yeah, I think it's interesting here. We're at an interesting point. I'm not fully committed or sold on anything, but some little golden nuggets for you here for you guys to learn. I see that the NQ has took a bit of liquidity. I mean, these are the micros. You really want to be looking at the full ES assets, but it's close enough for what we're doing. And on here, we've not yet taken any liquidity from the open. That's the 930 candle. NQ has, right, and ES has not. So ES is weaker, and we're looking for shorts. So I'm more interested in ES, but I don't call a range a desire to go low. I want to see some true desire, and when I see that, and I can see that, you know, ES is not interested in going up, and NQ's made its run. It was exhausted anyway, and it just about come up and put the basketball in the hoop, and then it's, you know, probably wanted to die off itself. But we won't be going for this one. It's got more strength in it, at least for now. With our narrative, we're building a narrative here. That is the right turn of phrase for what we're doing. We're building a narrative or a story around price, and the narrative is that NQ is stronger, it's seizing liquidity, and ES already sees liquidity at the open, and it's weaker. So we're interested in shorts on the ES. If it can break the status quo of this range, which is some of you out there that trade order flow, as some of you probably know, I mean, I haven't got any order flow tools, I don't use them, but I think you can see everything from the candles, to be honest with you. You can see that this is a price where we have fair value. People are willing to trade in this price range, and this would probably be what the old order flow dudes call a point of control, and they can get very sticky, these points of control. Once price gets tangled up in them, it tends to stick to it. Again, when it comes back to it as well, if it moves away from it, it sticks to it, and then it'll move on. It takes some real sort of, I imagine, institutional drive to get it out of the quagmire that it's in. So if we do see a move clear down, then we know they're moving, they're making their moves, and we want to jump on with them. But right now, nobody's making a move. There's no market movers going on here. This is just accumulating orders. Some at the top of the range, some orders at the bottom of the range. It goes on and on and on and on and on. It's not breaking anywhere, so no participation from us either. Until the bigwigs have pulled the levers of price and moved the market. Now, of course, they always like to give you false hope. They normally like to take it one way and then boost it the other. As the great ICT said, he called it the something about the Judas swing, something like that. That's one way of looking at it. But I've seen it. They can do it both ways. They can swing up, give you false hope, and then come down the other way and think, that's the move, and then they can swing back up the other way. They can really shake the market up if they want to, and fool a lot of people. But we won't be falling for any tricks. We've seen too much combat to fall for any of their nonsense. And hopefully, following these streams, you'll learn these survival tricks on how to survive their mind games. They're in the market to make money. They're clever people, very clever, and this is real spending money, and they're wanting to win as much, if not more so, than you do. They really want it. And one of the things they're relying on is your impatience. And I do believe it is a transfer of money between the patient and the impatient. So, like most of us, we do get beaten by our impatience, and it's happened to me. But after a lot of exposure to the market, you do adapt, and if you've survived in it long enough, then you do develop attitudes that make you resilient to impatience and all your natural impulses. You become a trading warrior, man. You really become something that you never knew you could be. And it's definitely worth sticking with it, because when you become successfully patient and successfully consistent and successfully, profitable and make a good living out of it, I don't think there's anything in the world, no profession that can beat this. Not in my opinion. Others may disagree. But I think this is the one. Anyway, liquidity. NQ. You see, the liquidity is up here. It's definitely one in a bit of a short, I think. It does want to go up. It's almost like the market's asking itself, do we have our pullback now before we go up, or do we just go straight up? I mean, it's bullish, right? We've had this new phase of price, but I'm hoping for a pullback, and I want to trade the pullback. Actually, I don't want to trade. I don't trade continuations. I don't want to do that. Others do, and that's fair enough. That's completely fair enough. They'll let it go so far. They'll get a pullback within the continuation, and they'll trade the continuation. But I'm looking to trade a reversal, even if that reversal is a pullback. But we might not get that today. It might just continue going straight up with minimal pullback and just go for it. In which case we don't have our trade, but we won't have to wait around forever. The market closes for us at 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, volatility and volume, that very potent mix, has been exhausted by 11 o'clock. You won't see the combination of volatility and volume again for the rest of the day. There's a power hour and stuff like that, but it's still no match for the Open of New York. That's where it all is. That's where the big move is for the day. Unless you have a day like today on Juneteenth, half a day, and we'll be lucky to cop anything. But yeah, right now we don't have very much to go on. That could change, you know, and I'll let you know as soon as it does. But for now, shorts are still favoured, but they're in short supply. We need a good job. I mean, this isn't particularly strong price action if you look at it. It's what they like to call, what analysts like to call low resistance liquidity run. It's been reaching up for something, but it hasn't been doing it in a very sort of like, you know, swings with conviction. What do I mean swings with conviction? What does that mean? That's like, yeah, this price action's a bit more swings with conviction. Price swings up, forms a high, and price swings down, forms a higher low. Price swings up, forms a higher high, proper high. Price swings down, forms a higher low. These are swings. It's petered out a bit here, but you know, these are swings. All right? Those are swings. This is not. This is just fuzz. It's not. They're not swing. It's low resistance. There's not much. There's not much orders above and below this stuff here. So when price does come down, it'll just go poof, cut through all the orders, cut through them all. There'll be a bit more orders down here. This will be a bit more tasty down here, but if we have a strong push up, leaving a gap in the market here, and then we have a strong push down, leaving a gap as well, we have like, I suppose it's like a car when it wheel spins under power. The wheels are under heavy power, and it's burning rubber on the road, and it leaves the marks on the road, skid marks on the road. You're looking for skid marks on the chart, and that's what we're seeing here now. I'm starting to see some skid marks on the chart, which is great, because that means I will want to participate in a short here, I think, but not on that asset. It's too strong. I'm looking more for breaking these lows on the weaker asset, as you can imagine. We still never took that high, so we can still consider the ES is the weaker one. Let's give it a go. Let's go for a couple of those. Take it low. Stick our stop loss above, just above the high there. And let's see if we can get something, of interest. Or if we say to ourselves, you know what, it's Juneteenth, we should never have traded today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce my ambition for this trade. I won't go for a 2-to-1. I'll see if we can't convince it to give us, 1.5, 1.5, something like that. Which probably means we want to take off our contracts at 7,549, something like that. Somewhere down here, not too far off where we originally thought it might end up. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. We might not get anywhere near it. Might lose. Might backfire on us. We'll see. We'll sit here patiently and see. We got in for the right reasons, and we got on the right asset. We can't be right all the time. Half the time is okay, because like I say, we're not 1-hour traders, we are 2-hour traders. Apart from today, we've got half a day, so we're going to take some off our reward as well for that. But yeah, we're in for a good kicking now, or a good reward of 1.5 hour. It's still above 1 hour. It's not bad. It's pretty low risk. We're running micros here. If I could just remind you, it's a 25k daily funded seat account that we're trialing out. So I've only put the two micros on. Remember, we're on ES. Had we took the trade on NQ, we most certainly wouldn't have put 2 micros on. We'd have stuck with 1. But on ES, doesn't move quite as many ticks, and even though it's worth more, it moves a lot less. So we've lowered our risk to 2 ES, and if we lose, we haven't blown the account up. We've just lost an acceptable amount of money. A golden rule I take is, if you think, how much drawdown have I got? How much do I know to risk? I've got drawdown of, let's say, I don't know, 1,500 on a 25k account. So divide that by 10, and you end up with a figure of $150. So okay, I can lose 10 times. So I'll not put in any more than 150 bucks. And our risk at the minute, we're sitting on 22 ticks. And I'll just have a quick check in ChatGPT what 22 ticks of micro ES is, so I can give you guys an accurate answer. So 22 ticks, micro ES, futures, value. So I think our risk is about 22 ticks. This one's 29 ticks. Let's have a look. Sorry. We got in not quite as low. But anyway, Okay, so it would be $36.25 per contract. So for 2 contracts, yeah, we're looking at a loss of $72.50, which is half of $150, which we've calculated as an acceptable risk. It's Juneteenth. We probably don't want to put on the full risk of $150 on a day like today, and we probably don't want to go for a full 2 hour. So we've lowered our risk. It's a funny old day, so we've lowered our risk by half, and we've took we took a third off our expectation for profit as well. So we'll see what that does. This might be one of those double Judas swings where we had the Judas swing at the open, and now we've got a second one here, Judas swing number 2, and then it actually continues going up. So that wouldn't have been much of a pullback, like I was talking about. Market would generally, with a new phase of price like this, it will want to continue in its direction, but we were banking on a bit more of a meaningful pullback, and we were gonna take the pullback today. That was our thinking. That's why we're in this trade. We're looking to take some money off the pullback, but I don't know. This is looking like it isn't very interested in going lower. It hasn't inverted this imbalance here, this FVG, yet. But if it does do it, what we'll do is we'll knock a candle off. Sorry, a contract. We'll knock a contract off and lower our risk a little bit for it. If it does invert this, so I might expect it to go up and maybe grab a bit more liquidity, maybe just above here, and it comes back down, or yeah, I'll take one off if it inverts this and lower our risk again. So let's see what these next couple of candles do, or it might just rip up and blast our stop loss anyway, in which case there's not much we can do about it, but look for a better position higher up, or simply call it. I mean, the market is going to be closing, I think it's at 12 o'clock, but it's going to be closing anyway. So, but yeah, we would look to take 1 micro off in a situation such as this, and yeah, okay, so we're going to take 1 off. Oops, we took both off. That wasn't very good. Okay, what to do here? We need to get back in, obviously, but let's get back in on the 1 micro, and let's put our stop back up here, and something like that. Yeah, sorry about that. I hadn't changed the quantity to 2. Too busy yapping. I never thought I'd like talking so much. I'm normally a man of few words, but yeah, okay. So we've lowered our risk. We've only got the 1 micro, which is about, I don't know, from here, about $30 risk. 5595. 7559 to there is what? That's 16 ticks to there. And then the full complement of the stop loss is, what is this? 19 ticks. It's not a lot of dough. 19 ticks. Let's have a look. $19 ticks, $47.50 for 2 contracts. But we're not on 2, we're on 1. Sorry for the little mishap there where we took both contracts off. I only intended to take one off. That's a bit of a screw up, but yeah, so it's $23.75 stop loss, which is what I call risk management. And this is what I want to teach you. Learning a strategy is, this is one thing, but you'll end up doing it slightly differently anyway. Even if you did learn someone's strategy, people do. They do what makes sense to them, and it doesn't really matter. Like I say, so long as it's somewhere between, 1.5 to 2 hour. Let's take 2 hour for example. You only need to be right half the time. Not even that, even a bit less than that. But let's say you're right 50% of the time, and you're on 2 hour. And you've got proper discipline and proper risk management. Like, you don't start adding contracts and stuff like that. I just don't think that's the way to go. You're just messing with the risk all the time, and it's not the right thing to do. Keep your risk simple, okay? In our case, we'll take a contract off if it isn't looking good. You've even seen me take it all off and say, you know what, I'm going to leave that. It's not showing a desire to go down. And I've got a good mind to take this off, frankly, because it's not showing me desire to go down. But for argument's sake, I'm just going to let this. I mean, this does look like it wants to go up, actually. It looks like it's had a sweep of these lows here, and it's saying that's the extent of my pullback. I'm going to go up now. I'm going to seek higher prices. As is the phases of price. We've had a clear and obvious ramp up to a new phase where we've got a new point of control, is how I like to think of a new phase of price. There is a new point of control, and yeah, price will continue higher, likely higher. It doesn't have to, but we all know that it does continue in this direction. But we were hoping for a pullback, a meaningful pullback, because this is not a pullback. This is just a range. Even that, really. And it's not really a pullback. Not after a big push up like that. I think there's more of a pullback to be had, but it might actually go up and take some more price up here before wanting to pull back. In which case, under ordinary circumstances, if we had a full day ahead of us, I'd be prepared to do that if it happened before 11 o'clock. If it didn't happen before 11 o'clock, I'd just leave it for the day at the one loss. We've already, I wouldn't call it a loss, but it's looking that way for us because it's not showing the desire to go low. So not likely a win today, but that's why we manage our risk. We reduce our risk on a day like today. So I'm quite comfortable. We've got a green week. This is day 3. Day 1 was a win. Day 2 was a win. Day 3, maybe a loss, don't know, still in it for now. But we reduced our risk because it was an oddball of a day. And, we're still massively in the green. And that's just through a bit of common sense and risk management. No crazy sort of genius trading strategy. Just such things don't really exist, to be honest with you. The real genius is in the risk management. Prove me wrong. Show me profitable traders who don't value risk management higher than the strategy. Some of them have got several strategies. I do this sometimes and that, depends. Sometimes I trade Asia, sometimes I trade... They're not even trading the same time zones, But the one thing they all do consistently is handle their risk. Well, they'll be absolutely anal about their risk. Any profitable trader, long-term, seriously, someone earning a living from this, is disciplined. I'm not saying they don't have their moments where they blow accounts or they do crazy stuff. I'm sure they do. But more often than not, that's the exception, not the norm. The norm to them is diligence, risk management, and that's what gets payouts. So that's what I'm hoping you'll learn from these lives. Not a strategy. No point teaching you a strategy. Go and find one. There's loads of them around. If you had the best strategy on the planet, whatever that is, you still wouldn't be profitable with it without self-control and good risk management. You'd lose money. As crazy as that sounds, that's the reality. Traders lose because they're over leveraged, haven't measured their risk, adding contracts, blah, blah, blah. Taking contracts off, that's okay. But there are people out there, the position goes against them, and they think it's a good idea to add even more risk to it. It's called dollar cost averaging. I mean, there was a time when prop firms used to ban it. They'd close your account saying, you are not demonstrating an understanding of risk. They don't seem to do it anymore because they've got so many other sort of tools in there to defeat that sort of behaviour without even having to state a case, But yeah, that's what it's about. So anyway, it doesn't look very desirable to go down. There'll be no taking another position because the market's closed soon. This is going to either hit our stop loss or go down and take our profit. Either way, if it takes our profit, we won't have made very much profit, and if it hits our stop loss, we've lost even less. We lost about $25 today, and that's about all I'd want to commit to on a Juneteenth half day or any other half day of trading. So not looking too good, folks, but our risk is reduced.
Hello, my YouTube.
Just watching this guy here. Talks about who is he? Michael Farah. He talks about making YouTube videos, graphical stuff, which I'm trying to learn. Try to make some nice overlays for you. So that's all new for me as well.
Friends, there's a new streaming.
It's interesting. Anyway, if you're into that sort of thing, pay him a visit. Seems like a good guy, and he's got a lot of knowledge on streaming things, which I could use. I had a disaster yesterday with streaming completely. Anyway, let's have a look at what NQ's doing. Not very much. It's not doing a lot, is it? It's in a range. I mean, I know it looked like it's going up and it's going down, but really this is, with respect to that push up, I mean, what is this? Got a range, then it did a tiny little breakout back into the range, a bit more of a breakout, then it actually made something of a move, and it's gone down again. broke structure from here to here, and now no doubt it's going to break structure from there to there. So just pure nonsense, and that's to be expected on a half day. Price action isn't exactly, you know, amazing typically, and this is the open. You know, this is the highest volatility and volume, and it just looks like, you know, Asia, 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody trading. That's what this looks like. It looks like retail is in control of this. Just no institutional desire anywhere. That's crazy. It's even deader than I expected, actually. I expected a little bit more from it than this. I knew it would be quiet, but I didn't think it'd be like this. This is almost truly random price action with no sort of, you know, it's not pseudo random, which is what normal price action is like in the New York session. You can say it's random, sure, but it's kind of, there are moments of predictability with it, whereas this, I just don't know what this is doing. Is it going up? Is it going down? It's doing both. It's going sideways. High, lower high. Lower low, which confirms that high. Is this a high high? I don't know if it is or not. If that high gets took, then yeah, but that low gets took, then that is the lower high. 3 lower highs in a row, and then it would probably drop. But I don't know. I have to wait until it's finished. Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look up. See what we can see. I think he likes, but I don't think he'd like this price action. What do we have? We have Sam in the live chat. Hello, Sam. Say hello. Don't you just hate keyboards that don't put a light on the caps lock button? Hello, Sam, smiley face. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a few more viewers in the stream. Do some prize giveaways, have some fun. But you don't get viewers unless you get wins. So, as word gets around that Dodo Tradez wins, then other people will want to win and come and watch and learn. And then we'll get a few more duck races. Well, we'll get some duck races going on. We've got none going on at the minute. But yeah. Price action on Juneteenth. Worse than expected. The audience really do make the streams. You've got to have your audience. You've got to interact with them and answer their questions and get some dialogue going. It's all about the people, man. All about the people, the traders. It's about you guys. It's not about me. Right. What does this market want to do? It wants to range. That's okay. We're turning it all off at 11 o'clock. If we're not in a trade. Come on, baby, light my fire. Flat on the day. Not much going on. It's in this sort of reverse triangle chokehold, isn't it? This is what the trend line traders would be thinking. They'd be looking at the market like this. And maybe something like this, and then they'll move their trend line as price breaks through it. They'll be looking like this, and they'll be saying, well, it hasn't broke out either side. They'd be right. But it's just a range. That's what it is. Worry about these trend lines. It's just a range, man. Sitting in a range. Although it will break out of that range. That is true. I just don't know when and how. And we are running out of time. We get to 11 o'clock, we won't be entering anything. So if this range continues to go all the way up to 11, then I'll tell you what I didn't do. I didn't do any news, but I didn't think there's anything to show other than the half day. Let's have a look. Let's get some news. Looking for some news, man. Who wants yesterday's papers? We want the news for today. And yeah, there is no news that I can see. It's not the most exciting stuff, this, is it? It's like paint dry, eh? I suppose it'd be exciting when it breaks through and stops us out. But, yeah. It's a slow death. Slow. Slow, slow, slow market today. Slow grinding market. Not showing any desire to do anything but range about the place before breaking. I think there's probably more chance of the upside for a stoppage rather than going down for a profit. Could be on an 1, 2, 3. Could start taking a trip back up now. Stop us out. In which case we will be done for the day. I'll go and lock the account out. DX feed. This one is with I chose the DX feed with FundedSeat. I think they do Rhythmic as well. Both, of course, you can trade. You can connect those both of them to Quant Tower, which is a good ordering tool. It's very precise. But yeah, great company so far. We'll see when we pass and we get the funded account how things are. We're told it's daily payouts, so we can check that. I am sure, from what I've read and the kind of people, the caliber of the people who have looked at Funded Trader, they say that they're great. I'm sure they are, but there's no proof, there's no vetting like actually doing it publicly, with complete transparency. We know this firm is good because we live streamed the whole process. That's what we're standing on. How can you beat that? You can't, frankly. So I'm sure that FundedSeat are going to come through with excellent colours. But if there are any problems, we'll be able to see them as well. And people make mistakes. FundedSeat are a new company. We'd obviously give them a chance to address our issues through their support, and we can check how good their support is if that should happen. And we'll do it all. We'll do it all. I've used their support to now. They seem attentive. But as part of the full review, I'll cover all of those things in the full review that'll be on the website. DodoTradez.com. Trades with a Z. So we can get down with the Generation Z, or Z as you say in America. As I'll be saying soon as well if I get to live there, and is looking increasingly like a good idea given the state of things over here. Not as many opportunities over here as there are in the States, I don't think. Everything seems to be happening in America. Right. So is this going to be the push-up to put us out of our misery? Or are we in for more ranging? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it took us out. I don't call this desire to go down. I'd be out of this already. If it was a full day, I'd be out of this. This is just the range. But for today, 25 bucks loss, it's not going to kill us. And it gives us something to stream, doesn't it? Something to stream and talk about. We only got a 7-minute stream yesterday because of technical issues, and we were done in the market yesterday within 15 minutes of it opening. It was pretty quick yesterday. Not so quick today. Which way is she gonna break? Who knows? It's looking a bit like Mission Impossible at the minute. I'm just glad that we've managed our risk, kept our risk low. You wouldn't want to be risking much in this market. It's questionable whether you should be risking anything really, but 30 bucks, something like that. It's not going to hurt us. Yeah, making a push up, breaking to the upside. Not surprised about that. Is it 10.46? Yeah, if this pops us out here on the stop, it's not worth going in for another one. We're out of time, and I don't like the price action anyway. It's just garbage. But we'll see. Looks like that'll be it for the stream today. Like I say, we reduced our risk expecting this kind of behavior. We dropped our risk to half and then pulled a contract off, and then we got back in because we accidentally pulled both off. And yeah, we said, okay, we're going for another risk of about 25-30 bucks, and a 1.5 hour instead of our usual 2, because we don't have much faith in this market. And you can see why it's pretty dismal today, but it is a green week. We've finished green. There we go. Now it's going to take us out, most likely. That'll be the end of today's stream, I think. I'll look out the account for Tuesday. Monday I don't really like to trade because of this sort of thing, really. Price going sideways and in an unpredictable sort of retail fashion. So there'll be no streams on Fridays. We stream from Tuesday to Friday. Sorry, there'll be no stream on Monday. We stream Tuesday to Friday. And Tuesday, hoping for better things than this. And we will continue with our evaluation of FundedSeat, which is looking pretty good so far. Profits are up. What is this market doing? What is it doing? NQ just had a bit of a drop. It's very weak, low resistance. Let's get some strength now. Yeah, we're stopped out on the other one. No, yes. Nearly. We will be. We'll be stopped out soon if we're not careful. I think there's actually been a strength switch here, It's ES is getting stronger and NQ is getting weaker. Now, if something like that happens now, I could be interested in a short on NQ, actually. Under the right circumstances, of course. It'd have to show some proper desire. I'd need a very good reason to do it, but I might just get one. We might get a reason to do it. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything left in the next. We've got we've got 20 minutes of the hour left. It looks like, and then yeah, it does look a bit like a strength switch to me. Which is interesting. Very interesting. But we'll see. Yeah, we got 20 minutes left. We could entertain another one, but it would be an NQ trade. That's what I'm seeing on the charts. I'm seeing a strength switch. You see that? Seeing a switch in strengths from about 20 past 10. Yeah. Yes, very keen to take out price. NQ, not so keen. It's too early to make a judgment on it now, but it could be a play that we're interested in. Could well be. Things could get quite interesting soon. Or not. No. More ranging and popping. Yes. It's over for us, I think. Yeah. Oh, well. There was a glimmer, I suppose. But that glimmer is gone. We accept our loss. Take it like a man, guys. This is when you're at your most dangerous. When you're about to take a loss, you start to go crazy. But we're not going to do that. We're here to teach you how to keep your head under situations like this and to evaluate, is there another opportunity? Not, I must get in. I got to get in the market and I got to make my money back. And 9.5 times out of 10, the best thing to do when you take a loss like we're about to is go into your Tradez or your DX feed account in the background and set it to lock account for the day. That's the right thing to do. But yeah, there may be something on the NQ before 11 o'clock, but if it's going to make a move, it's got to do it now. I'm talking about the NQ. I'm holding out no hope for this trade. This is gone. This is gone. But in terms of another trade, I am seeing something quite interesting on the NQ. If we can get a change in delivery on here, I'm thinking it is worth a look, actually. But whether we get that shift down lower off the NQ or not, I don't know. It's not looking likely. It's just an idea. It could still happen. We could still get the NQ opportunity. But the closer we get to 11 o'clock, the less likely it is to happen. And there's a definite switch in strength. That's our trade out on ES. Trade is gone, so that's a loss. We're out for a loss of 30 bucks or whatever it is. But our account is up. We're up. What did we lose today? We lost 50 bucks. Now that's what you call a loss. That daily net P&L, what with the orders that we placed, and $61. So we've lost 61 today. So that's red for today, but green for the week. And just bring that back up again. You can see the account is up $839.27. That's our account. With FundedSeat. So we're in profit. We've made an acceptable loss. There it's That's what you call risk management, gents. You don't want to be putting crazy amounts on your trades. And again, we'd need a really, really good reason to get in the market now. Again, I'd need to see something mind blowing. But yeah, it does illustrate the point where you've got a change in the phase of price. It does want to continue in that direction, and that looked like it. Well, that was the pullback that we were hoping to capitalize on, but it didn't pull back very much for us, sadly. There was no desire, so it's just ripping up without us. But there could be some hope on the NQ, because we're definitely seeing a switch in strength between the S and the NQ, and both of them do need a bit of a retracement. This is not really a retracement. This isn't down here and then up here. It's still a range, really, if you think about. Well, let's factor in the opening price. We're at the top of that range there. It's not even really a breakout unless it screams above there. Look at that, look. Is the MES. We've just basically hit. We're at that level now. We're literally at the entrance to it, which is an obvious place for a pullback, as we didn't get our position to pull back very well here. It'd be a good place for a pullback now. If it doesn't pull back from here, well, that really is it. It's just going to continue up for a while. But yeah, we've got about 10, 13 minutes, 10 minutes left before we wouldn't consider taking anything anyway. We don't trade trend lines, so we're just in there for an explanation of something. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a turnaround now, but the thing I'm looking at is the NQ. Got an interesting divergence here. Like so. This is going up in strength, and bear in mind this was the weaker one, so we've had a switch in strength since the open. We've seen that, and this was the strongest one. Now it's the weakest one, and if that one changed market structure, then that would be the very good reason that I'm talking about to get into the trade. Yeah, that's right. That would be grounds for me to get back in, but it'll have to hurry itself up. In about 670 mark, I'd want to see price break here, break down below there. That's what I'd want to see. And then I definitely would. It's within the time frame of 11 o'clock. I'd want to see it. I would expect, a generous pullback off that before it probably carries on this way and goes up again. But it's worth a second entry. I'd feel quite comfortable and confident with that one. Comfortable and confident indeed. If it shows a desire. If it shows the desire. This candle will be making up my mind. This one or the next one. After that, maybe not even think about it. Getting ready to shut down for the day and lock out accounts. But yeah, I could be very interested in a trade now. Let's see, shall we? Will she or won't she? That is the question. We had a bit of expansion down, but we certainly had an indecision here. She had a pullback, started it, said no. Indecision candle, not sure, but then it did have an expansion down. Now it's getting some confidence about going up, which makes me think it'll do exactly that. Yeah, that's not desire to go down, is it? That's a desire to go and make new highs. But the fact remains there is divergence between the two of them, and it's, you know, not improved. The divergence is still equally as significant because one went up, even though that one went up, the other one went up as well. The one went up even higher as well. So let's see what it does. Let's see if it maintains this divergence between the two of them. Yeah. So it's going back down equally as quick as it went up, which is a good sign that this move was designed to lure you into a false sense of it's going higher. Oh, is it really? Well, who knows? But it doesn't look like that was the push up. Let's see if we get a structural shift now, or whether we get more mind games off the market. The first round, they beat us. They were smarter than us. We mustn't let that happen again. Not in one day. We can't be wrong twice in one day. Once is okay, twice is not okay. Okay, so going up. Will this kill the divergence? Not yet. It hasn't. Have we increased in divergence up here? Yes, so it's going. It's still maintaining a powerful difference in strength. This one is much stronger than this one. I mean, they're both strong going up. Just surprised it didn't want a deeper retracement than that. But, you know, we knew it wouldn't necessarily give us the golden eggs. We wanted a retracement down to about here, and we got a retracement. Sorry, we wanted a retracement down to here, and we only got a retracement. Is on the ES, which was weaker. We wanted a retracement here, and we got it to there. So that's where all our profit was. That's where we would have been really happy for the day if we covered this, but the retracement was shallow, and price is just climbing now. It don't look like we're going to get what we want, and our divergence is surely running out of scope now. Must have matched in strength, or be very close to it by now. Let's have a look. Is a divergence still existing? Just about, but I mean, a divergence is a divergence. It's still a divergence, but it's razor thin. Yeah, not looking good. It's gone to be an 11 o'clock candle, isn't it? That decides this. And then let's see what we get. ES has gone up to 7,566 in this leg. And it's got to get to 7,600. Sorry. Yep. It's done it. It's done it. It's broke the divergence. So we no longer have any interesting observations to make about that. Doesn't look much like anything at the minute. It was only ever going to be a continuation, and not much of one. And let's say you manage risk on days like this. Reduce your risk, reduce your ambition, your scope for the day, or don't trade at all. I still think it was worth trading, but not any, nowhere near trade a full amount, half amounts. And then when you start to see a poor show from price, drop another contract off. Don't expect to win much. Don't expect, to lose much. But you were still in. You're still in, which is your duty. You've got to go in and keep your account running. Days like non-farm payroll, and when Federal Reserve is speaking, definitely don't be in the market, or at least not for liquidity. 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after the news, because that news will just go, doesn't have to, but it could go, and put a lightsaber both ways, high and low. In which case, you're talking seek and destroy. It's gone. You're not going to get anything. Okay, and what did Nasdaq do? Nasdaq is going lower. I think Nasdaq is showing signs of weakness now, and it was stronger. So we've got another strength switch here. And considering we've just taken this high, there could be an opportunity here for us. There might be. I'm not saying there is, but there is a reasonable opportunity here to have a little look. We may just get to enter a trade. We're 1 minute past 11, which is not ideal, but I did say the 11 o'clock candle would decide this, and there is some strength switch going on here now. But again, I'd want to see it break the structure of the market right about here or something like that. On NQ. You see how that went up a bit higher, and it is between peaks. It's not connected to the same swing. The differences between peaks. I would call that. It's very narrow, but there is something there. And in fairness, it has left a few skid marks going up, and it's inverted some of that on the old NQ. But yeah, you can see it now live. You can see the ES is stronger. See how it's going up and taking new highs, whereas the NQ is not doing that. If it breaks some of these structural lows here, I'll be interested in going in. As long as it doesn't break these highs here, and it comes and breaks these lows, we could be interested in another entry. But that would be it. We're getting awful close to 12 o'clock. It never broke those highs. At least that candle didn't. Doesn't mean it can't do it. Might do it next. This candle. But we'll see. Let's see if it loses a desire to climb any higher. It's Friday. It's half a day. Does it really want to climb any higher and leave the market over the weekend to do what it will, to do what the market will? It's a bit of a risk for those doing swing trading where they, they hold positions over the weekend, which institutions do, especially with wars on and stuff. News can change rapid overnight, and not having any control of that would be, interesting. So we could get a drop here. If not, I think we're done. We're done for today. That's what I think. We're about to wrap up the stream here, I think, guys. I do appreciate you all watching and enjoying and subscribing and liking the video and all that good stuff. It's just a shame I couldn't get anything, nice for you on the last day of the week, but we are up green, as is evidenced by the account here. We only do the truth around here. So 839.27 for the week. Today we lost a little bit. We lost $61, which is a little bit disappointing. 7,820, 861 profit target. That's because we made too much money yesterday. It should be 26,500. So we've taken a good hit on the consistency rule, but we're okay. We can live with that. We don't mind. We know we're getting the payout. It's just a matter of when. Okay, come on now. I want to see you drop. You don't want to go up anymore. Can see that. ES has done its business and it don't want to go up anymore. It's going to be breaking its own lows. You start breaking your own lows and we'll see about an entry. That's what we're going to do, folks. We're going to give you a bit of NQ excitement, hopefully. And we're going to go in on a entry of a few shorts here. If it gives us some breakage of the lower time frames, which it hasn't yet, of course. We've got ES pushing up more. ES has got stronger. Is NQ feeling it? If so, that's the end of the stream. If we bite past 30, what is it? 30,698.25. Then we're going to wrap it up and wish you all a nice weekend at that point, because it is done. Will it or won't it? What's it going to be? Do you love us? No. She doesn't love us. She doesn't care about us. I think we're done. I think we're done for the week. So I'm going to wrap it up there. And we've had a green week. We're up $840. We've got to make a lot more money though than we would have had. We've got to make another $700 than what we would have normally had to, but yeah, we can live with that. We can live with that. But yeah, that was the first week of FundedSeat, and I have very much enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys next week for part 4, 5 and 6. Probably finish this by part 8. We'll have passed the Eval next week, by Friday, I would have thought, if not sooner. But yeah, I appreciate you all. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Stream starts as usual 9:30, maybe 15:15. See you then. Thank you.